Yeah, welcome to another kind of video explaining how to use Render Teacher. This time we are talking about or looking into how to create a webinar. First of all, you have to log in as a teacher, and with that you will get this teacher menu. And under the teacher menu you see you can create a webinar. This is what we will do now, so activate this kind of menu item and you see different kind of functionality you have now on creating a webinar. The first menu item gives you the possibility to create a new one. The second one shows you active webinars and you see them already listed underneath. All your webinars will be shown here in a order based on the latest one on top. You see archived webinars, so if you did already in the past, you can look it up, and you can see registrations, so people who registered already for your webinars. And in all of the areas there's always a help, so if you don't know what does it mean, then easy, go here and get some more details. But what we want to do is now create a new one, so we activate them, create a webinar, menu item, and immediately are in the section of creating our own webinar. So the whole thing is structured in different information. First of all, we need basic information, which we will do now in that kind of short video. But then information about a webinar room. This is our virtual classroom. A description, discount setting, if you want to discount something, or advanced setting if you want to give some additional information to that webinar. A very interesting feature is the recurring settings. So you can, but I explained that in another video, you can set up a webinar in a way that it, for instance, starts every day or every second day, every Saturday, every Sunday, once a month, 2 times a month, whatever you want. Very flexible. So now let's start with webinar details. First of all, we have to give our webinar a name or a title. So how to create a webinar. The next very important thing is you have to define your time zone and the time zone at the moment when you teach your webinar. This is very important because think about your webinars listed worldwide. So everybody, students around the world, can see your webinar, and if they want to join in, they should at least know what's the time difference from their time zone to your time zone. Now, Render Teacher will calculate that automatically and will show them the right time based on the time zones you define for your webinar. Don't worry about anything else, but give the right time zone here and you're fine with teaching. Next thing, select a category. All the categories we offer are listed here. If there is something missing, send us an email. We can talk about that. But my webinar is a teacher training webinar, so I select that one. Then I can add an image to it. I leave that now out, but at the end you can upload an image which exactly explains from a picture point of view what you're teaching. Webinar date, we do it on a weekend, 7, and it starts at 11, and it's a 1-hour webinar, ends at 12. Price is free, so I leave it empty. If you want to have a price tag for your webinars, put in whatever you want, $5, $6, $7. Everybody who wants to join has to more or less or register or pay that price. So we keep ours for free. Capacity is limited to 10. Cutoff date, this is the last date when somebody can register. I leave it open so they can register till the last minute, and I publish that webinar. So that's the first part, and save it, and done. So now we come to a second part after we have the basic information in. This is the webinar room. So a webinar will happen in a virtual classroom. That means to define that virtual classroom, you have to give that meeting an additional name. So we call it Render Teacher Room 1. So you can whatever name give it to that one. A moderator password, this is your password when you open it. You don't have to write it down or whatever. This is automatically stored with the webinar and will be used when you open the classroom automatically. So, but you need one here, and I name mine Greenstone, and a attendee password for all the students. Let's call it student. So wait for my moderator to start a meeting. We do that, and yeah, save it. So we see the webinar successfully saved. We see it here, how to create a webinar. Picture, I didn't upload one. Text is also empty here, but we see the details we put in. 7th of September, 11 to 12, it's in our time zone here. Capacity was 10, places 10 for sure, nobody registered, and free, so the whole thing was for free. So, and this was a short video how to create a webinar.